What's up with it, YouTube? Polo Sports Talking Entertainment here again with another one. Y'all be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit the notifications so that you're able to get each and every one of my videos. Man, I got to give a shout out to the boy 50 Cent, man. Now, before I begin this video, let me give a shout out to the homie Town Biz. Um, if you're not subscribed to Town Biz, definitely go sub to his channel. He's one of the LDBC brothers, and just great overall content all the time. Um, he talks about a conglomerate of various things, whether it's sports, whether it's of course boxing, and then also he talks entertainment too as well, like myself, and does a great job on his channel. And also he's real thorough with it. You know what I'm saying? So if you got virgin ears, don't go on over there. But you know, overall, man, decent brother, man, hardworking brother. So salute to him. Giving him his just due because he was the one to talk about this first. And 50 Cent says that he wants to create a sitcom like the Cosby Show. You know, now you say what you want, right? A lot of people don't understand if you didn't grow up during that time. For the ones that were born in the 80s and pretty much grew up during the 90s, you wouldn't understand that the Cosby Show laid the blueprint and the foundation down for Black and African Americans to pretty much do their thing on television. The Cosby Show was seen as, aside from making us look like less than what we were, it preached about us doing something productive with our life, and in terms of education, in terms of actually the Black father in the household and the Black mother in the household, both in the household, and being able to run a successful household, but at the same time still having the various issues, but being able to iron out those issues like a real family would, because every family has their set of issues. So I think that was a blueprint to put pretty much a combination of everything when you talk about African American um sitcom. For a long time we weren't able to get out there and show ourselves in a good light, so to speak. They were always looking at us, unless you were like Michael Jackson or Michael Jordan or someone like that, when it came to music. But I think that the Cosby Show opened up a lot of doors, uh, and kicked down a lot of doors for African American entertainment. And you see a lot of people, they pay homage to the Cosby Show. Now I know Bill Cosby has been going through his trials and tribulations. You know, um, regardless of what you want to say, they were jealous of Bill Cosby. I'm not gonna go down that road, but I think that 50 Cent does have the power to do it. Um, and he took to Twitter and he said this. Okay, he said, "Quote: I have a crush on Felicia Rashad. Felicia Rashad is, of course, she played the mother in the household in the sitcom back in the days on the Cosby Show, forever. And I don't know, she can talk with her eyes. She was just it. I think it was the Cosby Show. It was the only representation of black love on TV. I gotta make us a new one. GLG, Green Light Gang. Um, End quote. And that's what he took to Twitter and said. Now we already know. See, 50 Cent is phenomenal, in and let me tell you why. Because what he's done with Power, he brings back a lot of people that might have been kind of, forgotten about or shoved to the side, wasn't really given an opportunity. You see, Elvin on there that played the son-in-law on the show. He went from somebody seeing him working a regular job at Trader Joe's to all of a sudden being back on one of the successful sitcoms right now in Power. And let's just call it what it is. Power just overtook Empire. I stopped watching Empire, I think after about just a couple months or whatever, because it just got cheesy, and it got pretty much boring, and I wasn't hip to Power at first. As a matter of fact, I didn't even watch the first, I would say, the first season and a half of Power, but somebody kept telling me about it, and I said, you know what, let me watch it. And of course, like any other show, I like to watch it from the beginning, because if you get in there and you get in the middle of the show, then you're not going to really understand what's going on. Now, but he's always been a guy that's been able to give opportunity to a lot of guys. He's used his power in a good way. Like, for instance, you know, he he brought on Method Man, and that's not to say that Method Man hasn't been busy at work or anything like that, but he brought on he had Redman and Method Man in the same in this season, with the same cameo appearances. And of course, Redman and Method Man, were a duo that rapped together, and were known in the late '90s. And on top of that, they were known for How High and everything. So, he'll bring that in there, and they'll be like, "Wow, I haven't seen that person in a while." Or he'll bring in just various actors that you haven't actors and actresses that you haven't seen in a while, or they haven't had that much opportunity. And guess what? They're on a big stage, and that just helps them out. So, 50 Cent, to say the least, he has the power to do it, man. And I don't think people understand how intelligent, this guy is. I know some people, they have their negative things to say about 50 Cent, but the one thing that you can't say is that he's he's thinking he's thinking like 7 to 8 moves ahead of everyone. And I think that him making a new version of the Cosby Show, it would be phenomenal. Now, Ti, that's kind of what he wanted to do, but unfortunately, yeah. What's up with it, brother? Speak. I see you in the building. You said you could never get into Empire either. Just showed way too much unbelievable crap. Well, yeah, and y'all go subscribe to the brother Speak podcast, man. He has a really good show, man, over there, and along with the Ebony Star Network, Max and them and Dame and all them. Salute to them. You know, I think, like, now, don't get me wrong, man, and I'm not trying to look. I don't want to offend nobody or anything like that. You know, I think that the alternative lifestyle of it all, a lot of people were kind of thrown off by that, but you have to throw that in there because of what's going on in today's society. However, it did start getting kind of cheesy. I agree with Brother Speak, because after a while it was just like, okay, where are we going with this? And you could tell on the show just started to kind of dry up. Whereas with Power, you were wanting more and more. See, the difference between Power and Snowfall, a show like Snowfall, even Atlanta, Atlanta's coming back. It's like it leaves you wanting more and more. It can go on and on and on and on. With Empire, it's like it wasn't going anywhere. And Power, it opens up into various things. They got the one about Ghost, his or his son Tariq. Then you got the one about um Tommy getting ready to come out. Then you had Kanan, right? Kanan. So it's it's branching out into several different shows. Whereas Empire, it's not going anywhere. It's just one solid show. And so that's where 50 Cent has the edge on Empire. And on top of that, you got BMF too as well. So he's branching off into several different things. How can you not respect this guy's intellect and what he brings to the table in terms of production? And see, I'm gonna tell you another thing too. See, early on, 50 Cent, I mean, he was doing movies a long time ago, but people were like, "Man, what is this guy doing in this movie?" And it would be short little, cameos at first, and then all of a sudden, he started doing more and more acting. I think his um, I think his best role was, man, it was that man, which one was that one? It was the one where he played. I can't think of the name right now. What's up with it, Alex? I see you in the building. I can't think of the name right now, but he played a football player where he had lost a whole bunch of weight and he got heavily criticized for doing that role, but he had to lose the weight for that. They were like, "Wow, he looks sick," but that's what he was playing. He was playing a football player that he ended up getting like real sick or whatever, and then people started to treat him a different way. I think that was his best role. I think that was his best role, and then all of a sudden you seen um you seen 50 Cent just take over in in the uh in the movie industry. So I mean, he definitely had a plan, and he definitely had a blueprint. And some people might say that Get Rich or Die Trying was was his was his best, like his opening, his breakout movie and everything. But I disagree with that. I really disagree with that. You know, he he's been in so many, and he's been in movies since what 2000 and, like, I would say 2005, 2006 or something like that, 2008. Well, but before that, he's been in roles with Robert De Niro. A lot of people don't understand the type of work that he's put in. So I think that he does. He definitely. Oh yeah, the movie. And by the way, the movie was called All Things Fall Apart. That was the movie. I forgot the name of that movie, but All Things Fall Apart. Yeah. Thanks, Alex. Yeah, that movie right there was was I. That's just my opinion. I felt like that movie was his breakout. But everybody's like Get Rich or Die Trying. But Get Rich or Die Trying was based really on his life. You know, if you really know 50 Cent and know what he went through, pretty much that was his life or whatnot. Now, the thing that was ironic about All Things Fall Apart is that he was in there with Mario Van Peebles, and people didn't understand that. You know, he's around guys. Mario Van Peebles, as well as his father, God rest his soul. Those guys right there, man, were pioneers. You know what I'm saying? And Mario Van Peebles, in the '90s, he was up in there with New Jack City, just coming with movies after movies and stuff. as far as directing was concerned and producing. So 50 Cent is going to definitely pick their brain and be around those type of guys to to pick up knowledge and stuff. And I think that that's what he's been able to do. So him bringing back the Cosby Show, man, would be phenomenal. I know people gonna have they stuff to say. They still trying to get at Cosby and everything like that. But there was no reason why Cosby should have served any type of time, you know, for that for the judge banging that gavel or whatnot. He shouldn't have did anything. You know, if we're gonna hold him to a standard, man, you got to look at a whole bunch of other guys in the entertainment industry, and then on top of that, they knew that Cosby, what he was well on. He was about to buy NBC, but they didn't want him to do that. They didn't want him to do that. So, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna go down that road, but I think that he wants to give everybody an opportunity. Now, this is my final point. It, is he going to put some of the guys and girls in there that were in there, like Felicia Rashad or Raven Simone or Elvin and all them other people? That remains to be seen. Even Malcolm Jamal Warner, you know, because this is another thing too. I think like a lot of people, Eddie Winslow, you know what I'm saying, and I know y'all gonna y'all gonna laugh about Eddie Winslow. You said he basically doing the same thing as The Rock, learning how Hollywood works so he can produce the types of shows and movies he wanted. The Rock. I I got to talk about The Rock though, but The Rock, man, his work ethic, man, was like none other, and he did it the smart way. They both took similar paths. I got to agree with you on that one, brother Speak, because The Rock, okay, he used wrestling as his breakout. Initially, it was football, and then he didn't quite make it in terms of football or whatever. So he used wrestling, and wrestling they knew him as The Rock, and then that opened up many different doors for him. Where as 50 Cent, hey, he was a boxer. Now I think he just wanted to do something else in terms of uh, rap and hip hop and everything, and so he had been in the mixtape game for quite some time, and then of course he broke out with the Get Rich or Die Trying or whatever, and then took off from there, and then rap opened up doors for other things, and then acting and producing. So that's a very good point, brother Speak, and that is very very similar. And see, a lot of people don't see when it came to the Fast and Furious. I I The Rock took a lot of criticism, because when especially with Hobbs and Shaw. But I like the aspect of bringing in action and stuff like that. But more people wanted to see just the racing aspect of Fast and Furious. I'm not trying to get off subject and everything, but I'm just trying to give an example. He brought an element to Fast and Furious that needed to be there, with a lot more action and fighting. But some people didn't like that. I like that element of bringing in a lot more action and stuff, especially when you threw in guys like Jason Statham and guys like that. But yeah, 50 Cent, man, he doesn't stop. You know what I'm saying? And another thing is that he listen, 50 Cent is versatile. A lot of these guys aren't really as versatile as him. Man, 50 Cent could go up there on the Today Show and have coffee with, you know, the older women. And then he'll turn around, you know what I'm saying? And then he'll mix it up in the club and already, be up in there turning up, with the young guys and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Then he'll make a movie that's compassionate. He'll make a movie that they got to do with suspense. He'll make a show that got pretty much everything in it. You know what I'm saying? Where you got guys that are pretty much one dimensional, and a lot of guys don't really see that. So, I mean, you could love it or hate it, but the one thing that you got to do, man, is you got to respect it, and that's the type of element that he brings. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I was like, what the hell, man? Here we go again, another rapper that's trying to act, or another guy, another person that's in movie that's trying to act. But man, he did his thing. Method Man, he's a natural. I don't think he gets enough credit. You know, Buster Rhymes, he's a natural. You know, because he has an animated personality. I would like to see Mystical in a lot more movies. Queen Latifah, natural. She's a natural. She's doing a great job, a phenomenal job with Equalizer. Um, you know, Ti. You know, I know some people got their feelings about Ti. Ti is a natural. You know what I'm saying? Like at first, I know some people he got kind of criticized with ATL, but I think Takers, the way that he was able to do his thing in Takers, and I think a couple other movies, you know, he did pretty good when he made his appearances. I'm trying to think of some people that LL Cool J, he's a natural. You know, Mary J. Blige, you know, she's a natural. Q-Tip, you know, uh, just trying to think of some people like right off the top of my head that just were able to transition right into the movie scene, because a lot of people frown upon that. You know, they'll be like, yeah, why you doing movies, man? You knowing damn well that you can't act. Now, I don't know what the hell Nicki Minaj calls herself doing. She just wanted to be seen. You know what I'm saying? She's not really, and Cardi B and all them. You know what I'm saying? They just want to be seen, but they don't have no type of acting skills. Tupac, of course Tupac, and see Tupac don't get enough credit. He was one of the ones that really, I think, said, okay, look, I could do pretty much anything, but he actually learned how to act, learned how to dance and stuff. Ice T, he's a natural, you know. Ice Cube, to a certain degree. Nah, because he's more on the producing. He on the producing end. He's more of an architect. But you got to give Cube his credit. You know, so many guys, they step in there and they're just naturals, and they know what they're doing. And 50 Cent just happens to be a natural in terms of his producing and directing and uh, creating the show. Ja Rule and Fast and Furious and the Cookout. Bobby Brown uh, in the Martin Law. You know, Ja Rule, yeah, Ja Rule. I mean, yeah. What you said, Monica? Yeah, yeah. Um, you know, and Bobby Brown, yeah, he did his thing. I remember Bobby Brown in Thin Line Between Love and Hate. I was like, oh shit, Bobby Brown in this bitch. I was like, what? I'll take it way back. Um, you know, Chris Brown. I think Chris Brown does a good job. Chris Brown, he be all over the place. Trying to think of some other people, man, that just are able to just automatically just step into acting in Hollywood and do a role without, you looking at them and you like, what? Now John Sally, I know he wasn't rapping, but John Sally don't get enough credit. Like, people don't remember. John Sally was in the first Bad Boys. Uh, Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman. You know what I'm saying? You say what you want. Dennis Rodman. He's he's a pretty decent actor. You just wish you would have saw them do more of it. Um, but a lot of those guys, they try to make cameo appearances or whatever. But I like with the guy that I mentioned earlier, like LL Cool J and you know Chris Brown and all them other guys or whatever. You can tell that those guys really are truly passionate about what they did. But I think that Queen Latifah though, she was just one that you just like, dang, Queen Latifah, she automatically because I remember her in Juice and House Party. Queen Latifah done been in everything, barbershop, everything, and people wanted to try to do what they did. Now, Kid and Play did their thing too. You know, that was a rap group back in the '80s and in the early '90s or whatnot with House Party and Class Act. Um, they don't get no credit because Kid is an actual comedian, and you knew that Kid was gonna do something because I think he used to host. He hosted something. I think it was Star Search or it was either Star Search or Showtime at the Apollo, one of those. But he was a host, and he would try to get people to laugh and try to warm the crowd up and all that stuff. But yeah, man, just a lot of guys, man. They're naturals. Now there's some guys you look at and you're like, Shh, you have no business trying to be an actor or trying to be an actress. You know, but yeah, 50 Cent, man, he definitely he definitely taking over. So I got to give a shout out to him, man. Uh, can't wait for I can't wait for Raising Kanan to come back out. I'm looking for, of course, BMF, to come back out. I know it just ended and everything. And then Snowfall. Now, I know Snowfall was done by John Singleton, but I can't wait for Snowfall, man. Like Snowfall is that's my show right there. Between Snowfall, All the Powers, and BMF. Empire. Like I said, I stopped watching that a long time ago. And that's strange because I like Terrence Howard. But they show just wasn't that good, man. After a while, but yeah, man, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. I appreciate everybody pulling up, man. Like the video, share it, subscribe, hit them notifications. Tell them, man, it's Polo Sports Talking Entertainment, man. I get at you later.